As promised, I have him live in the studios. He looks so fit too. Ray Kelly from Ray Kelly Fitness. How are you, Ray?
I'm good, Wayne. How you doing?
Good. I'm going very well. And I saw you. I was very impressed. I came up this morning and you were doing some exercises in the park, or some of your clients were?
That's right. Yeah, every morning I'm in town. There's a couple of ladies that I walk with, and they go through and do their circuit. I'd like to say I was over there training them. They train themselves. They do it.
Oh, no.
I rode a circuit for them months ago, and they just contact me now and then, say, Ray, it's getting too easy. What can we do? And they up it again.
Up the level.
Yeah, just every day they're out there doing it. And to start with, they were it took them a bit over an hour to do their 4K walk. Yeah. And now it's 32 minutes, and they do that, and then they go and do their park circuit.
It's just amazing, and we know that Margot and there's been other people were really facing a very shortened life because of diabetes, weren't they?
That's right, and as you know, like, it's not just the Aboriginal people of this town that have benefited from this program, but in particular, Aboriginal people, usually live 10 years less. And it's related to diabetes and heart disease, so more lifestyle factors. And the crazy thing is, this can be reversed pretty quickly.
And it has been, and it's a bit of an old wives' tale that fast weight loss is bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I learnt when I first went to uni. But when you start looking at the research, it actually says the opposite. All the research shows that if you it's actually a good predictor. So if you lose weight fast in the first few weeks, it's a good predictor that you're more likely to keep losing weight, and that you'll actually keep it off long term. Yeah.
So you've obviously set different programs over the years, and you would have developed it over the years because you're an exercise physiologist, so that encompasses diet and everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're primarily working on exercise, but with coaching and lifestyle factors. And look, a lot of people wouldn't know what an exercise physiologist is, but just for the layman, it's the best allied health professional there is.
Yeah. Sure.
No, so basically, we're trained, in a 3 to 4 year degree. And then have a master's after that. So we specialise in chronic care, so people with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, as well as injuries. So, if injury prevention, or if you've had an injury, we can help with the rehab with that after you've finished with the physio.
Yeah, because you want to keep being physical, don't you? And if That's you can't, right. If you've been injured, there needs to be a way ahead, doesn't there?
That's right, and that's even with Margot. When we started working with Margot, she struggled to walk around town, and she was going to buy a motor scooter and all that. And like I said, now she's walking the 4Ks pretty quickly around town. But even after she was able to do that, she still was struggling with walking up and down steps. So we just give her a couple of simple exercises, and she was just telling me this morning just how much easier she walks up and down stairs. There are no problems for her anymore. So it's pretty simple stuff.
And she just turned 60 too.
That's right.
She had a big party.
That's right. So she, at 59, she was feeling, I think, probably about 70 or 80, and at 60, she's feeling about 20.
Yeah, it's great, and it's good to see. Now, you've got a real history with people that have been overweight too, Adro and also Chris from The Biggest Loser, 2006, 2007. So that would have been a pretty intensive training regime, wouldn't it?
It was. Each time I got a call about 2 days after they got out of the house, so they do their weight loss in the house, and then they are allocated a trainer, and so we sort of sit down and make a plan. And my background's in high level sports, so I'm pretty good with long term planning. So we planned over the 7 weeks we had them. Okay, this is what we need to do, and this is the goal weight. So I'm a bit of a nerd on stats, so I did a regression equation and worked out the best weight loss their opponents could be, or the other competitors could get, and I set them a goal on where they need to be, and we based our whole training, diet, all that sort of thing around that. And 2 wins from 2, pretty good.
And I know that Chris wasn't very popular, or wasn't a very popular housemate, and people were sort of wanted to deny him the win, didn't they? But
they did, they did, and there's no doubt he was a prickly character at times. People like him.
Yeah. And are they still going on okay?
I haven't been in touch. It's been a long time now, and we move around. But Adro's working in health, so he's still going along all right.
Fantastic. And he comes from a fairly big family, as many do. So there is hope for everyone. Now, you've recently returned from Austria, and you found that many of the programs that you've run here other people have been running, and they're finding out sort of similar discoveries, or what?
Yeah. Well, every year I travel overseas to the major obesity conferences, because this is where you're learning straight from the researchers. So they present their latest research. So at the European Congress on Obesity and the International Congress on Obesity, it's all the top universities send their professors, doctors, all that sort of stuff, and outline exactly what they've been doing and where they're going with the research. So it sort of takes, sometimes a year to be published after that, and then, probably 5 years to really hit the coalface, and who knows, for the unis to get it and implement it. So I worked out a long time ago, that's the way to stay in front with your knowledge. And, there's one guy in particular, Professor Mike Lean from Glasgow University, who's been running the first ever trial on diabetes remission as the outcome. So there's been a lot of diabetes studies done, but none measuring how many people can actually achieve remission. So that's, normal blood sugars, no medication. And so he's been running programs in medical centres in the UK, and what they've found that it obviously is all around weight loss. Weight loss is the only real treatment for type 2 diabetes. Medications are good for bringing blood sugars down, but it doesn't stop the progress of the disease so much. You need to lose weight. So what he found was, of those who lost 15 kilos or more, they 85% of them actually went into full remission, so required no more medication.
That high, 85%?
And even 10 kilos, if they lost 10 kilos, 75% full remission.
Wow. And
even 5 to 10 kilos, 50% full remission. So, we know what needs to be done. And then there's another lady, Dr. Amna Shaguli in Kuwait, who's doing some great work with insulin-dependent diabetics and getting them off insulin. So this is the direction all the research is going this way, and this is where my research is going to with my PhD and so on. So
it's just amazing, and to think that the developing nations like India they're reaching catastrophic heights of an epidemic, really, aren't they?
Oh, they are. Look, it's right around the world, really, and what we do know is that everyone has a certain level of body fat that they can store, and once you reach that, you start carrying it more around the organs, so under the rib cage there and around the liver, and once that happens, that's when you get the insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, all those sorts of things. And I guess what we know is, we used to think that body fat was just stored on the body as energy, but now we know it's an endocrine organ, so it actually releases hormones. And if you're having a poor diet, not exercising, it becomes more inflamed, and it actually promotes fat storage. So, but if you're eating cleaner, it actually helps with the weight loss as well. So, it's still a developing area. Like, anyone that tells you that they know everything about weight loss doesn't have a clue. Run from them. Yeah. I've been doing this a long time, and I know more than most, but I'm still learning all the time. There's so much we need to learn. We need to know about the whys. We certainly know how. Like, we can knock weight off people all the time, but the reasons behind it, some of it we're not totally sure yet.
Yeah, and it's really keeping it off, isn't it? I'm speaking with Ray Kelly from Ray Kelly Fitness, and it has been exciting, the Too Deadly for Diabetes program, and that's been in Bourke. But what other towns can it be rolled out, or is it being rolled out into in our listening areas? Yeah,
we started off with Bourke, Brewarrina and Walgett. And, it's been going great, our first program. And look, when we first started, we thought, look, this is going to be very new to the region, very new to the staff at the Aboriginal Health Services, but also very new to the community. So we thought, look, if we can just get a couple of good results in there, we'll be very happy. But we got plenty of good results, and I think about 250 kilos lost across the sort of area. But some of the individual stories, and like you talk about Margot, she was off insulin in 7 weeks, and she would have only lost 5 or 6 kilos in that time. So it wasn't. So it wasn't that much weight loss required.
So she's not on any pills or anything.
She's on tablets, mm-hmm. but she was on 5 injections of insulin a day.
Wow.
Yeah, but and for anyone listening, I'm not saying definitely don't go off your insulin. Definitely don't go off your insulin.
Yeah.
Go and speak to your doctor. Yeah. But but then we've got Ducky Dennis, who's very well known over the Walgett, Brewarrina, Bourke regions, for his singing and his footy and that over the years. But he wasn't good. He started the same week as Margot, and he was getting around a motor scooter, and he's had a few heart problems and things like that. And once I think he was 6 weeks and he was off insulin. Same things, like 4 or 5 injections a day.
Scooter.
Yeah, well, I think he might use it for the long trips now.
Yeah.
But no, but he's walking around. He's walking everywhere. I just ran into him a couple of days ago, and he's looking fantastic. His HbA1c, so this is off insulin. His HbA1c was 5.6 the other week.
Wow.
That's unreal. For an Aboriginal man at 56 years of age, that's fantastic anyway. But when you consider he was on 5 injections of insulin just a couple of months prior, that's fantastic.
It's a good news story. And for those who are interested, you know, there must be a lot of people listening who think, well, I need to do something about it for myself or a relative or a friend. What can they do? Yeah,
well, you can certainly go contact your Aboriginal Health Service and tell them to get my program in. That's a start, because that's where we can get some government funding to do that. But, look, we have, we're all over the internet and social media. Ray Kelly Fitness. If you Google Ray Kelly Fitness, you'll see him. We run programs where, you know, you can be out anywhere on properties or anything. We do phone call consults and things like that. So,
terrific. So people can access it. That's good. So the old... You know the old furphy that lowering your fat and all the rest of it, and having those really dry, bland, cardboardy meals, is a bit of a furphy, isn't it? Yeah, look, it depends on how you look at it. There's a big upheaval in the research on saturated fat. So, we're always taught that like saturated fat's going to cause heart disease, and it may or may not. But look, the research is really turning around on that, and it's looking like the research underlying that may have been a little bit sort of light, I guess. So there's a lot more research going in that area. But certainly, look, fats are good for you, good healthy fats. So, like, in essence, if you stick to fresh, unprocessed food, you can't go wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? And look, we got heaps of food hopping around outside here. Yeah. Nice, fresh, unprocessed food. You get roadkill every day with this drought that's on at the moment. They're coming into town. I was just talking to the guys earlier on, and they were saying that there was an emu running up the road here the other day. Yeah, there's a few in some of the parks, little parks around. But it's true. So eating fresh is the way to go. What, lowering carbs too? Yeah, look. Look, if you're fit and healthy, then there's nothing wrong with carbs at all. Okay, they're fine. It's for people who have insulin resistance. You've got to reduce your carbs. It's because it becomes very difficult. And just back to that conference I went to, there's a top researcher in the world called Professor Arne Astrup, and he's been integral in setting up the research that the guidelines have been set around. And he presented at this conference and said, "Look, I've gone back over all my research, and one thing we know now, based on all this, is that people who people who have type 2 diabetes need to be on a lower carb diet to lose weight. They just have to." Yeah, there's no choice. Now, Ray, last time we spoke, I think we mentioned what it would cost to feed a family, individual, or whatever, because fresh food is a little bit more expensive out here, but many people have been led to believe that it's more expensive. It's cheaper to buy processed, so therefore we don't buy the fresh. You've had that conversation before, and you've done some research, haven't you, on the cost of food? That's right. Yeah, so we've got what we call our cheap eats plan, and what it does, it gives you your 21 main meals and 14 snacks for the week, and provides you with the shopping list and all the recipes. And in the city and Central Coast sort of regions, it works out to be $47 a week. And out here, we worked out it was $62 a week. So it's still quite inexpensive. And I think Wildgat was $52. All your meals for that? All your meals. And just to give you an idea, I actually cooked up a pot of chicken soup last night, and I shopped up at the IGA here. And I think I paid about $24 for the ingredients. And God, I think I'd probably get 8-10 meals out of that. Yeah, it's pretty cheap, then, isn't it? So and that's like fresh chicken and veggies and the whole lot. And it was thick. It was good and tasty. Oh, it was good. So, and are you finding that people are enjoying the change of diet, the meals? Yeah, look, people. I do love coming out here, and the people who have been going through the program just appreciate it so much. And it's not unusual for people to start welling up, talking about how much it's changed their life. It's fantastic. It's far more than just weight loss. It's the energy, it's the empowerment. It's that control back in your life. Yeah. But it's also the kids. The kids are eating healthy. Their grandkids are eating healthier. Yeah. So this is having very well for the next generation, isn't it? Yeah, and we've only been out here since March. Yeah.
So it's crazy when you think about how quickly a community can change their attitude to a disease like type 2 diabetes, which was running rampant in every family.
And it's so good, Ray, to have a good news story. And, it has been, we've had a lot of very depressing statistics, stories, testimonies, too many funerals, too many people dying young.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great to see a real turnaround. And I've been in these parts for many years, decades now, and in and out. And I'm very encouraged by it. And so thank you for your work, and thank you for the Burke AMS and other health services, Walgett and other health services that have implemented it.
Yeah. Oh, look, let me tell you, I've got to make a mention of the likes of Barbara Flick from Burke Aboriginal Health Service, Katrina Ward from Brewarrina, and Christine Corby from Walgett, because without them, it just wouldn't happen. Like, we need strong leaders and forward thinkers. See, these sort of people, realise, have identified that things aren't working and they've got to think differently, and so they sort of threw it out and said, well, yeah, let's give this a go because it makes sense. They've got a lot of experience in health between them, let me tell you. I won't give their ages, but they've been working in health a very long time, so they've seen a lot, and to have their support just means so much to me. So that's good.
So that's great. And again, people can contact you if they want to know more, and they can contact their health services as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And that'll be great. Ray Kelly from Ray Kelly Fitness, thank you so much for your time, and I guess we'll see you again in the not too distant future.
I'm out here pretty much every second week.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. Okay, and you are listening to Outback Mornings, and we've got news coming up on the hour.